I've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Welcome to the Reviewniverse, episode number 1. This is a show where we're going to be reviewing bad movies so you don't have to watch them. Joining me for the first time on our first episode is Andrew Bergevin.
That's me. I like it better when Duke Nukem says it, sorry.
But he does it backwards. He says the bubblegum and then the ass. Next to him, we have our last co-host, Adam J. Hubbard.
I'm the last co-host ever?
Ever.
You're the last one. It was me, then it was Andy, then it was you, and then we were done.
There will never be another co-host.
It can be
But
only none.
This, on our very first, our maiden flagship episode, we reviewed a movie that got an astounding 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, when I looked it up, I was like, 88%?
I looked it up on IMDb. It's got like a 7.5.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a great bad movie. The movie we're talking about is They Live, the John Carpenter classic.
Can I comment just on that title real quick?
Please
and maybe
do.
I'm not the only one here. What the hell does that mean? Because
No clue.
It's not about zombies or anything.
No.
But the kid, okay.
Okay, so this movie came out in 1988 at the height of John Carpenter's career, right? Like, The Thing was right around that time.
Yeah.
Thing was before that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right around that time, though.
Yeah.
I'm not nailing it down to a year, but
I'll nail you.
The Village of the Damned, Prince of Darkness, all these came out right around that same time, and
John
this
Carpenter's
was
vampires.
Oof. So, the first look, before you guys even saw this movie, what did you glean from it? Like, from the cover and the name? Like, as far as, like, Andy, what did you think?
I pull it up on Netflix, and the description doesn't tell me anything, but the cover told me to expect too many zombies wearing sunglasses and wrestling in a kilt.
In a kilt?
It's Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh, whatever. Adam, what was your first thought?
Well, I never actually saw the box before I saw the movie.
All right, based on the title alone.
I assumed it would have been about zombies or something.
Right, that was exactly like, okay, so we're all simpatico here. Like, I looked at the title of this thing and said, They Live. It shows Rowdy Roddy's eye, looking through the sunglass, and it's reflecting a zombie. Like, it's a ghoul, it's a corpse.
Basically.
It's like a lipless, dead weirdo.
Thing. Hey,
Little...
people with hair lips are not weirdos.
Are you kidding?
I have hair all over my lip.
But here we are. It's, surprise, surprise, an alien movie. Now,
Not for the first fucking 40 minutes.
yeah, like, so what we have here is, it's basically, well, whatever. Okay, so the tagline of this movie, before we get into it, the tagline of this movie was, well, there was actually two. One was super short, and one was way, way too long.
Really?
Yeah,
I only ever saw one.
That's the one that was on the box that was on the Netflix thing.
Yeah, so what we got here is, who are they, and what do they want? So right away, like, it's obviously not zombies.
Already the box doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, the box has no idea what's going on inside of it. But, so the longer one, it was like Andy said it was a tag paragraph. It's, you see them on the street, you watch them on TV, you might even vote for one this fall. You think they're people just like you. You're wrong.
They ain't.
Dead wrong.
Turn the page for the rest of the tagline.
Turnover poster.
It was the front and back of the poster.
But seriously, and even that doesn't tell us anything. Like, you might even vote for one. Is this about vampires? Frankenstein?
And then they do that thing dead
Liberals?
wrong. They're not dead.
Yeah, I don't understand why they ever brought their living into question.
Yeah. They do live and they aren't dead. We've established that within the tagline. So, okay, so right here, that tagline obviously does not make any sense. So what we got is, we thought of our own taglines, and this is going to be, alternate tagline bit until I can think of a
The alternate tagline bit.
Yeah,
Alternate
Maybe we should change it to ultimate tagline, because that makes me think of, like, some sort of warrior.
Ultimate tagline bit gets the some house music and an impromptu gorilla dancing.
You should have seen all the crazy
the
dancing
double
going
fist
on.
pump real slow. But okay, for me, like, the obvious alternate tagline for this was There's Ray-Bans, the only company you can trust, right? Because it's sunglasses everywhere.
There you go.
Like, what did you come up with, Andy?
My first tagline is, "They live. There are no zombies in this movie."
How honest of you.
See, that's much more apropos. What was yours, Adam?
I got hipster vision.
What?
Which makes more sense when we go into the movie more.
They live.
All right,
Enjoy
I'll buy
hipster
that.
vision.
The other one that came like right off the top of my head was it was They Live. Buff hobos take on the universe. Because seriously, Rowdy Roddy is ripped.
Yeah, for a vagrant?
Yeah. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. What was your tagline, Andy?
I've got another very honest one. John Carpenter was obviously ashamed, so on this poster he put, "They live. We only wrote enough movie for 35 minutes of dialogue."
That is so true, though. Okay, Adam, did you have a last one, or was
No,
that it?
I only had the one this time.
All right, well, that's good enough, because, I mean, they all totally apply still. So, what we have here, They Live, the 1988 classic, with Rowdy Roddy Piper, who I could only find in 2 movies, this one being one of them.
What's the other?
I don't remember. It was like when he was really young, and he had like this bowl cut looking thing.
Not the extreme mullet.
Yeah, he didn't have the extreme mullet that he coiffed into They Live. But he was in 2 movies on IMDb or something. But then I went on to see, and he's been in a lot of other stuff. But so there you go. Then we've also got Keith David, who you might remember as the black stepdad from Something About Mary, or if you're a nerd, he was the Arbiter in Halo 2.
Yeah,
He was also Goliath from Gargoyles.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah, his voice has made the rounds, right? He's been in a lot of things.
It's true.
So let's break this movie down, guys. It starts out with a whole bunch of crappy, slow techno drums.
Yep.
As the credits are rolling, it was said music composed by John Carpenter and some other dude.
Yeah, not something to be proud of, John.
One guy played the triangle. John hit 2 notes on his keyboard.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. The whole movie's just like boom, boom.
Yeah, besides the
boom.
triangle, the whole soundtrack was synthesized.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, hey, I got an idea. Let's cut the budget. We're obviously spending so much on these non-zombie costumes.
Not zombie.
It's you and me, buddy, with a Casio.
Jesus, it cost us $4,500 for his mullet coif alone.
I know, that was styled. Oh. Okay, so what we got here is, it's like cutting through and there's a whole bunch of graffiti and it just says, They Live. Like, oh, wow, like someone's in the know, like this graffiti artist. Did it catch you off guard too? Like the graffiti on the wall was pretty good, but They Live looked like someone just ran by and like fucked up that dude's graffiti.
It was actually, that's where a concert was going to be held for live, and it's, or the band They, and it's going to be They Live.
Okay, I'll buy that. So what we see is like, what city was this in? Do you even know? Like,
They never even said it.
Obaysville.
It was any town, any big city, USA.
Except that any big city doesn't have handsome hobos that are completely clean all the time.
Yeah, so cut to a train yard, and Rowdy Roddy Piper's in like these nice pressed jeans, like
Leather
a really
jacket.
clean flannel shirt. He's got like the best looking backpack I've ever seen.
He's
And a
carrying
clean-
like camping equipment
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah, and so he's just wandering through the city, you know, he's looking to make an honest living because he's a hardworking hobo.
And then Keith David prepositions him.
So he's the cleanest hobo ever. So, you know, cut to he's obviously not one of your bad hobos. So he's obviously looking for a job. So he goes to that like employment agency.
With Adam pointed out to me that given our current economic status, and Adam is jobless, it said all these job openings that were supposed to be open, but they were all blank sheets of paper.
Yeah. Did anyone else I thought I was the only one who noticed that. It was like jobs for everyone. It was just like a bunch of tags that maybe you could write your name on.
Like a
Go into
Dave.
a raffle. But then he sits down with this crazy old lady, and she's like, "Where did you work before?" And he's like, "I worked for 10 years in Denver." Doesn't say doing what.
I worked.
I worked for 10 years. And so she asks him a whole bunch of questions, and then she shuts him down.
Yeah, then I forgot to tell you, there is nothing.
There are
Yeah,
no jobs.
like they go through this whole interview process. She's like, okay, where are you from? What did you do? What's your blood type? How you doing? How's it hanging?
What's your
Oh
sign?
yeah, no jobs.
I
Sorry,
just wanted
buddy.
to date Rowdy Roddy.
He touched me.
So he does he does the logical thing, right? He just hangs around a construction site and waits for
what
someone
you
to
did?
walk by and be like, "Hey, do you need work?"
Is that what you did, Dave?
That's how I got my job.
Hung around the construction site until some guy was like, "Do you work here?" I was like, "Can I?"
Yeah, I packed up my bindle and I went to this school they were building and I just stood outside the gate with my broken top hat and my fingerless gloves.
Waited till somebody spotted your gigantic mullet.
And I was like, "Hey, buddy, I do whatever. I got my own tools." He had his own tools.
He pulled out a chainsaw.
So he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and you'll start here." And they wasted
goofy
no
clown
time.
face.
It's like, okay, he's a construction worker. Here's your hard hat. Now take off your shirt.
Yeah, instantly he's shirtless.
Bam.
They cut to is like, you got a job. Smash cut to shirtless Roddy, like doing nothing. He's just like dicking around in a sandbox.
And I'd like to point out, just so we don't have to go over this again, after this first day of work, he never goes back to work again.
Never.
Ever.
He's always at that hobo camp that we're about to go to, or just wandering around, but he never goes back to work. Period.
Yeah. So here he meets Keith David, who's like, he thinks he sees something in Rowdy. Like he's obviously a kindred spirit being another clean hobo.
Very clean hobo.
So he's like, hey, buddy, we got a hobo fantasy camp over here. It's got showers. It's got food.
Now,
Come
here's
on
my
by.
problem. Keith David goes, okay, this place has hot food, hot showers, and rooms. And then it cuts through the camp, and it's tents. That is not rooms.
It's just a shanty town.
And all the buildings around them look abandoned.
But it's not just a shanty town. It's the Shining Time Rainbow Fantasy Shanty Town.
And they've got cable.
Well,
Yeah, they always
but
have
they've
TV.
They've got everyone of all races living in harmony.
And they're
They've
all
got
clean.
a little Chinese group, they got a little Mexican group, they got a black group, they got white people, and they're all super clean. The only way you could distinguish them as homeless is every once in a while one of their shirts will have like a cut in it.
It's some sort of utopian Hooverville.
I know, it's like hobo heaven. And they have TV.
And that guy always brings some like mounds of peas and husks of bread.
Yeah, like they have no problem feeding all these people. They're like, hey, yeah, like this is a place where cool people could just hang out and be themselves. And by the way, I never saw any showers.
No, me neither.
I saw what looked to be like outhouses. Maybe by showers they just put Keith David on top of the roof, shirtless, and with a bucket of water. And
Yeah, he just
pours
dumps it on
you.
them. They do have this hobo camp has a lot of amenities.
They've got everything, David.
Yeah, they've got a lot of couches and chairs around that TV they're always watching. Like that doesn't do anything for the hobo culture, right? It's like, these people are all trying to get a job, but they spend a lot of time around the TV.
Yeah, well, and it hurts their heads. There's always that guy popping up.
And they have such ridiculous commercials.
Oh man, the commercials were the best part. I was so pissed when we got cut off by the guy you're about to talk about, because it shows this commercial where this lady has fucking Wolverine claws for fingernails.
The
and
Lee
she's
press-on
spearing
nails.
cheese.
Yeah, she's typing with her like 4 foot long press-on nails, and she's typing away, and then she skewers a piece of cheese and eats it. Like, is this what they were doing in the 80s?
Yes.
This was 2 years from the 90s, you realize. This was 2 years before things got good, finally.
We've already talked about Rowdy Roddy and how he was very well dressed and he had his mullet. I was reading an interview with John Carpenter, and he said he picked Rowdy Roddy because he was the most rugged-looking guy at the time.
Slim pickings in the 80s, apparently.
Oh, crap. Like, okay, we need someone rough and grizzled. Yeah, hairless, beautiful, silver-maned, not silver, but auburn-maned, Rowdy Roddy Piper, right?
What a grizzly man.
Have they never heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger before?
Yeah, no. Well, he was busy doing every other action movie.
All the good
Ever.
ones.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah,
Not
so
Kindergarten Cop.
So finally, after this is like 40 minutes into the movie, it feels like, of them just like getting to know each other, hanging out at the fantasy hobo camp, when the dude who comes across the TV is like, "Look out! There's bad things. They're coming at you while they sleep. They want you to be sheep. We're livestock. They don't care." And it's like a whole bunch of stuff that makes zero sense.
Yeah, he does a good job of not explaining anything.
Yeah, you never get any backstory through this movie, like not even till barely the end. So here we have, coming up next, we have Rowdy Roddy, who obviously doesn't want to go to work anymore. He's just hanging around the camp.
He's hanging out with that hobo from Wishmaster.
Yeah, so what we have, he notices one of the guys who lives at the camp going over to the church next door, and he gets real suspicious, right?
For some reason.
Of course.
Yeah, for no reason. And when the guy offers up a perfectly rational reason, he's like, hey, you spent a lot of time over at that church. What's the deal? And he's like, yeah, well, we're cooking. They let us use our kitchen to cook all your food. And he's like, till 4 a.m.?
It's like, there's a lot of hobos here.
Yeah, that's a perfectly rational explanation, but no. So he borrows another hobo's binoculars.
Yeah.
His binoculars.
A hobo that we haven't seen before. He just walks out of his kid and goes, tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, another clean-cut blonde hobo with these expensive binoculars that he needs to see across the street.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It looks
This
no
is not
closer.
across town. This is not down the street. It's directly across from the hobo camp.
Directly.
And he doesn't gain any information from these binoculars.
No, nothing. So Keith David gets curious, and his curiosity is spiked by Rowdy's curiosity. So he comes over and he's like, hey, what's going on? Rowdy says, something's going on over there. And immediately Keith David wants nothing to do with it without hearing anything about it, right?
Yeah, he's like, well, there's something going on over in that church. He's like, don't you ever get me involved in shit like this.
He's like, I have a family. I have a wife. I have kids. I keep my head down and I go to work, right?
We never see his Keith David offspring.
No, because they're still back in Detroit.
And also, the reason we haven't said any character names yet is because there are none.
There aren't.
Period.
No one has a name. It's just there's Rowdy, and then there's Keith, and everyone else is just a random hobo.
Well, even Rowdy, they don't have names.
No, they don't. He's just a guy.
I'm just the hero of the movie. You don't need to know me.
He's Joe Everyman with giant pecs and a sweet 6-pack.
And a toothpick in his mouth.
All the time.
Always with the toothpick.
He's gonna lose his larynx with that thing running around with it in his mouth.
Well, here's the thing that happens. Roddy's suspicions pay off because the police surround that church and tear the crap out of it. It's wrecked. There's SWAT teams going in, and it goes nuts.
I've got an important observation about the SWAT teams for you that Adam and I saw.
The SWAT teams are always on foot. They never show up in a car.
Ever. Regular police show up in cars. The SWAT team's always going, hop, 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 hop.
Yeah, that's the thing. The SWAT team is always just booking it down the street on foot.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Okay, so, they don't like what's going on at the church, so they're gonna trash it up. But before they can do that, I forgot, do you remember when, Roddy sneaks into the church and accidentally knocks that wall open and we don't know what's in it?
Yeah.
Well, you see a box, and then...
No, you don't even see a box. When he stumbles and breaks that wall open and he looks in there, the camera's on the side. You don't see what's in there. He gives the camera a wink of knowing, he's like, you know what I'm coming back for. And he closes up the wall and he books it.
And then the cops arrive. Not only are the SWAT teams on foot, but you can always tell where they are because of their gratuitous flare use. If there's a cop and he needs to see, they're fucking tossing flares like they were candy.
Yeah, as soon as they show up, a guy's got a double fist of them, one sticking out of every finger, and he's just throwing them everywhere. Flares. But then, for no reason, they bring in a bulldozer, and they're like, see you later, hobo fantasy camp. And they just bulldoze it for no reason. And this affects Roddy and Keith zero, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the people who are reacting are like, oh no, my boxcar, let's get out of here. Everyone is kind of just shuffling away, and Roddy's just standing there thinking, I wonder what's going to happen here.
But then, okay, the night's over, hobo camp is gone, all the hobos are still there, and they still have cable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, did you see how thorough that bulldozer did? It was it cleared all structures. That place was leveled, flat, no debris, save for a few pieces of clothing where they're like, oh, here's my sweater.
And the television with the cable running to it.
Yeah, they still had TV because, they're not total buttholes. They're going to let them have the...
They're not monsters.
They're going to let them sit there with their couch. But then you have that weird hobo that shows up later that I didn't recognize.
Which one?
The one in the beard and the hat who was I don't like this channel. It's giving me a headache. Like, he has 3 lines and then shows up as an integral part of the movie later, but we'll get to that.
That's the guy from Wishmaster. Have you ever seen Wishmaster?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well then... Reviewniverse number
what about this? Did you guys see this when they're running away from the bulldozer and they go into that like broken down tenement building and Rowdy breaks open the door and he sees like one of the hobo families standing next to the highest black guy in the world?
Yeah. It's like you want some mess.
There's World War III going on outside. Guns are going off, a bulldozer, there's lights everywhere. There's the scared family in the corner and they pan down to see like this black dude with a joint being like,
this shit's crazy.
Yeah, he's just like totally blasé about the fact that the world is gonna it's going nuts out there.
Yeah, it's insane outside.
Well, and why weren't all the hobos staying in this perfectly good abandoned building right next door?
Right? Like the only thing that was wrong with it was that the windows were boarded up.
They couldn't run cable to the building.
Oh, they had to call the Cox guy, and they were just. It was a lot cheaper to just run it free air through the field. Oh, but then Rowdy is like, oh man, this sucks. The place is ruined. But he remembers maybe he could go back to see that thing he didn't let the audience in on. So
maybe
he
I
busts.
can take this secret.
Well, yeah, he's real sneaky. So he goes in there, busts it open. It's just a box. We still don't know what it is.
He doesn't even know what's in it.
No, he doesn't even know.
He just steals it for no reason.
Yeah, so he grabs it and runs an incredible distance away. He cannot let anyone around see what he is doing. So he grabs the box and he's running and he's in the city and he's running through alleys and finally he ducks down behind a garbage can. And this is like, it feels like so long. Like this takes forever for this to happen,
This is like
right?
45 minutes in, I think.
Yeah, this movie is like 8 hours. But he cuts open the box and it's sunglasses. Like really
Ray-Bans.
good looking late 80s Ray-Bans, right?
Yep.
And if that were me, I'd be like, jackpot, boom. Yes, finally. I love sunglasses and the more the merrier, right?
Just wear them all at once.
Yeah, he's clawing through it and he's like, now what do you do with
trying to
these?
get to the bottom of this thing and he sees that it's just sunglasses and he's like, ah.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of these really expensive sunglasses. So he does what every logical guy would do, pulls all the garbage out of the garbage can, stashes the box, but takes one for himself. Yeah. Now, the brilliant thing here is movie garbage is always just confetti and cardboard boxes.
Yep. It was recycling.
All the trash is just recycled.
Never will you see gross garbage in a movie unless it's supposed to be. Every time he falls into garbage, it's just confetti. There's wrapping paper,
cardboard,
boxes. It's all terrific, right?
Yeah.
Cut to Rowdy. He's kind of depressed. Not much in the he never got to the bottom of the mystery, and now he never will. But he's wearing these shades. Oh, like he doesn't immediately when he looks through the sunglasses, they're black and white.
Yeah, everything's monotone.
Yeah, nothing is in color, but he doesn't pick up on it until he sees a billboard, which then he does probably. I would like to call Guinness and see if this was the most double takes ever caught on film. It's a solid 3 minutes of sunglasses on, sunglasses off, shake the head, sunglasses on, sunglasses off, rub the eyes, sunglasses on, sunglasses off, scratching the head. 4 minutes into this montage, like, I still can't believe it. I better put these things back on.
It's still happening.
Again.
Every billboard says something like, obey. Our favorite was marry and reproduce.
Yeah, they were like the lamest propaganda you've ever seen. It says stuff like, obey, consume.
Stay asleep.
Stay asleep.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have a bunch of narcoleptics walking around town.
Right? Like that, the stay asleep thing didn't make any sense.
Which leads me to believe that if you are successful in the world, and it shows all the businessmen and stuff, and they all look like
Rockefellers.
They look like zombies. But they're not zombies.
But you have to realize that their propaganda isn't really that great, because not a lot of people are sleeping.
No.
And
no more than usual.
One of the things says conform. If their propaganda was working so well, we wouldn't have punk rock. We wouldn't have goths. Everyone would just be walking around in a three-piece suit and a hat.
No, it's just more zombies doing the punk rock and shit.
Oh.
That's what they do in their free time.
Oh, so they're the only creative ones.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, but did you notice that it was only businessmen and ladies in nice dresses and shit that were these alien zombie things? So Basically, in this movie, if you are successful, you are dead inside and need to die, according to Rowdy Roddy.
Well,
Like John Carpenter.
but okay, after he gets over all the propaganda and stuff, he sees his first alien.
Wah wah.
But he does not play it off. Rowdy cannot play off anything.
No.
He is a blank slate, and what he is feeling is on his face, and he's talking about it. But
And he does more double takes. He's like, what?
I know more double takes of the guy who's like buying a newspaper. He says to him, "Hey, what's the deal, buddy? What are you looking at?" Like he's gonna mouth off to Rowdy Roddy.
And he doesn't say anything. He just keeps on going, huh? Shit. These sunglasses are weird.
He never says anything. But more to the point, what 55-year-old businessman with salt and pepper in his hair is gonna start trouble with like this 6-foot-tall stacked wrestler? Here the movie kind of lifts you up. It makes you feel like, all right, maybe it's not so bad, because roughly 1 out of every 20 people are aliens.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he puts on the glasses and everybody's an alien. It's just every once in a while there's just a dude with a blue face.
Well, they're still gray.
Gray at this point.
Well, yeah, okay. So, yeah, the thing, they're only blue on the cover of the movie.
And
you never actually see them in color, except at the very, very end, but let's not skip let's not skip all the juicy details.
Severe underbite aliens
And
with
bug
bug eyes.
Yeah, they have no lips. Like, what planet did they come from? This is insane.
They look like burn victims.
Planet of the Burn Victims.
Yeah, a planet of burn victims where they have no eyelids and no lips.
What are you staring at?
So, Rowdy Roddy cannot take it anymore. He walks into a store. Everyone in that store is an alien. It must have been like owned by an alien, like it's a co-op for aliens. And he can't, like, after learning this for 3 minutes, he can't take it anymore. So he blows his top on that lady.
Yeah.
Like that rude rich lady with a mink. She's like, again, she assaults a wrestler. Like,
she,
this
like,
dude is
bumps into
stacked,
him.
and this old lady, like, shoulders him.
And it's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, she's just like, look out. Ugh, I'm rich. And he's like, whoa, you're so ugly. He's like, hey, you see this lady? Blech.
Bitch is ugly.
Yeah, but then he says, you're real fucking ugly.
Yeah, not subtle at all.
No. And then he gives away why he thinks she's ugly. He's like, you see this lady? He's talking to the cashier. He's like, you see this lady? I take these glasses off. He looks like just you and me. I put it on. She looks like fried dog shit.
Shows his whole hand.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he looks over at the cashier, and the cashier's the same sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. There was...
Like, he didn't bother to look at the cashier the whole time?
I don't know. He was confused. He didn't know what to do, so he tipped his hand to a world infested with aliens.
Just blew his stack. And then all the aliens are like, there's a guy with sunglasses and a mullet.
Yeah, they all talk into their wristwatches. Like, if there were any humans there, it would have given it away also.
So, and obviously, since they all have these neat wristwatches, they're from the planet of burn victim Dick Tracy's.
I know, immediately, like, they're just like, Chief, come in, Chief. Not only does one of them is like, hey, just checking in, it's everybody now. Every alien is talking into their wristwatch, walking very slowly toward him.
Staring at him.
Yeah, like, he's not going to catch on now?
No, not at all.
So he books it. Then the cops show up. And, oh, what does he say to the cops? He's like, oh, you're ugly too, or something like that.
Yeah. And then Roddy
He does
disables the cops.
He does like a 2-foot clothesline into the guy's neck.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so... here's the thing. The cops are like, hey, let's talk about this. Maybe we can work something out so we're all happy. He's like, fuck that! And he just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, he kills him. He shoots both of them.
Yeah, he takes the guy's gun. He's like, okay, obviously I've got nowhere to go but up. Blam, blam.
And then
Dead.
he goes on for the next 20 minutes, goes on a shooting rampage throughout the city.
Yeah, to keep his cover, he takes the shotgun and walks into a bank of all places. Best place to go when you're brandishing a shotgun.
Yes.
Walks into the bank. He's wearing the sunglasses. Here's where he delivers the perfect line, the awesome quote that has been renounced throughout the galaxy. He says, I'm here to
chew bubblegum and kick ass.
No, he says, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Okay.
I always thought it was the other way around too, but...
And then he just starts blowing people away.
Yeah, he just opens up aliens, and he is a surgeon with that shotgun, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no, he's not shooting normal people because there are normal people in his bank. But the aliens are like surrounded by 5 normal people each, and he just takes out the aliens from like 50 feet.
Yeah, he's a perfect shot. Like, the buckshot doesn't spray. He's able to keep it tightly gripped right to the dude's chest, and he takes everybody out, even the guard with the gun who shoots at him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's freak out time. He's running around. He fires a gun. He doesn't care. He's blowing people away.
Well, F this.
He's like, I don't take crap from aliens, even though I'm totally outnumbered. So it's time to just start firing at people indiscriminately, firing into the air. It's a good time, right?
I don't take crap from aliens that look like zombies that I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I wrote in my notes, weirdness with the woman and old picture. Does that ring a bell with you?
No, we didn't notice any old pictures, Dave. You must be crazy.
There was, I don't know why I wrote that down.
I have no idea why I wrote this down. Oh, and at this point,
Oh, I remember. No. Yeah, okay. It's, it's the, when he takes the lady hostage.
Yeah.
oh,
They just cut to like this woman walking through a parking garage with the largest jaw I've ever seen on a woman.
oh, and not only that, they've taken a very, the makeup artist decided that they need to make this woman look as chiseled jaw as possible. Like,
Yeah.
rouge down the cheeks and like, she looks like a fucking transformer.
Yeah, they made her look like a carved marble statue, right? She's got the squarest jaw I've ever... Her jaw is squarer than Roddy's.
Yeah.
So...
And it
so
doesn't
he's-
help that she has 80s hair.
No, it does
Never
not.
does.
Because she looks like any number of, like, anyone from Twisted Sister or Rat. So... He pulls a gun on her. He's like, "Get me out of here. Drive." And she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do? Gun.
Just drive.
So she takes him home.
Yeah, so she goes home.
Yep. And,
She shows him her painting of flowers in a pot.
yeah.
Because regular flowers in a pot aren't 80s enough.
No. And her apartment was very 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Woof.
Well, and in this apartment is one of my favorite camera shots the entire movie.
Really?
The directly over the head camera shot.
Oh. That's something that I think got phased out, like, after, like, Coke fell out of favor in Hollywood as much. They're just like, okay, we know what people, like, the top of people's heads look like.
Not a lot of emotion up there.
And later on, they thank the Goodyear blimp in the credits, but I never saw the Goodyear blimp, so I can only imagine that's where they got that.
Yeah, they were
camera shot.
using...
The blimp in the apartment.
Yeah, extremely, like an extremely good camera to shoot through the apartment to see their heads. But, so now,
And then, well, they get into the apartment, and there's 5 minutes of them being silent and looking confused.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
a lot of
Both of
awkward
them
silences.
going, huh?
Like, she's like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do," and he's sitting there thinking, "I'm really tired because these glasses took a lot out of me." And so we get a little bit of their backstory. He's like, "I don't know what to do."
And she says, "I work for the cable company."
Yeah. She's saying stuff like, "Please don't kill me." But, oh no, here's the weirdness. I remember now. She talks to him like she wants him to assault her sexually. Like, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird sexual tension
Well-
between them for no reason.
And like,
Because here's what she says. She says, "Now that we're here, what are you going to do with me?" and he says, "Nothing. I just needed to get out of there." But she brings it up again later. Like,
She's
she
like, "Are you-"
wants Rowdy to man up
take her.
and
That's
give
why
her the
she brought him
camel
home.
clutch, right?
The camel clutch.
So,
No, it's just weird. Like, then she's like, "I work for the cable company." He goes, "Cable company," and runs towards the TV. And then she whips out a bottle of wine from nowhere and smashes his ass down a cliff.
no. You're skipping a little bit ahead, because when he's about to pass out, she's going to make the move. And I swear, when she got up and started making her move, I thought, okay, she's going to jump him because he's not aggressive enough. But he's
She's
like,
gonna rape him.
but he says, don't test me. He's all passed out on the couch because those sunglasses took a lot out of him, right?
Yeah.
So she says, "Oh, I just need a drink." And of course, when I'm thirsty, I reach for brandy. So
In the
she pours
80s.
herself a glass of brandy, and that's when she crowns him with it.
Well, no, she's like, I work for the cable company. He starts running toward the TV to turn it on, and it's right next to a glass door that's right next to a cliff.
Yeah, it's a window facing a 400-foot drop.
And she like whips around like a ninja.
Yeah.
Smacks this thing. It shatters completely.
Yeah, the bottle shatters into a million pieces. The window shatters into a bunch of pixie dust. It's so fine.
and he goes...
He just goes
careening
flying
down
out
this
of
hill.
Yeah, it's like he was shot out of a
And
catapult.
then stands up and is like, oh, I have a slight limp.
Yeah, he falls down. And after the huge fall, like he falls out of Troy McClure's house from The Simpsons, right? Like he's built on the thing, so he falls down, rolls down a hill, and then he has a slight limp for the next 45 seconds.
2
minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and then it shows that she obviously called the cops. Cops come, so he runs away, and then there's 5 minutes of him looking confused under a bridge.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do now.
Well, there's no one for me to beat up or shoot.
But
So he goes, well,
he
and finds
remembers
Keith David.
his only friend, Keith David. And he hides. Okay, so cut to the construction site. It's obviously the next day or something. Keith David's hitting something with a hammer, and he's hot. So he's going to get himself a man-sized drink of water from the jug.
from the jug.
Yeah, he goes to the jug, pulls the cup, and he's about to drink when Roddy, who's hiding in the middle of nothing,
The jug.
right? He's hiding behind a pile of wood where he's exposed on three sides with dudes all around. Like the
sounds like a porno.
incognito factor is at 0.
It's the best porno ever. Roddy Piper exposed on 3 sides with dudes all around.
So he pops up and he's like, hey, Keith David. I don't know what his name was. He says, hey, Keith David. And so Keith freaks out because obviously it's all over the news since he, went on a shooting rampage.
For no
So what
reason.
are you doing here, man? You got to get out of here. If people see you, they're going to be mad.
They're going to be pissed off at me.
So he says, get out of here. He's like, I got to talk to you. He's like, leave. I don't want to ever talk to you again. We're not friends. I just doubted your suspicions about that thing across the street once.
I've known you for 3 days.
Yeah. And this strike you was odd. Like he was so thirsty that he didn't even take a drink from the cup. Like after their weird back and forth, he just throws the cup down and gets back to work.
The rage quenched
He
his
was probably
thirst.
gold bricking. Like he wasn't thirsty. He just wanted a break.
Cold bricking? Is that what they call it in the industry?
Yeah. If you don't want to work, you're gold bricking.
We call it skylarking in the Navy.
Skylarking.
Well, now
I
since
call it screwing around, Adam.
well, when he got kicked out the window, he lost his glasses. So now he can't see who's who and what's going on.
Not at all.
No, he's got to go and go back to his stash. Like, so it's a good thing he stashed those things.
Yeah.
He stored them for the winter.
He's like a squirrel with nuts, except he's a professional wrestler with Ray-Bans.
With a box full of sunglasses.
That make you nuts.
So he goes back, and now, am I remembering this right? The garbage can was still full of garbage, but the sunglasses were gone.
I don't remember it having garbage in it.
Okay, maybe that was just me, because that wouldn't make any sense. Because I felt like there was, like, that thing was still full of garbage, but his sunglasses were gone. And he's freaking out, like, oh no, now how am I going to...
Oh, the
Luckily,
garbage truck is right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the garbage
there's a-
truck sitting right there.
Giant garbage truck 10 feet away from him.
Yeah, cut to the craziest garbage truck scene caught on film, right? Like the guy shuts the thing, all the garbage is in there, he gets in the truck and starts it up. Roddy goes up to the lever that'll open the truck, and there's a good 45 seconds of him looking around, checking things out, checking his watch. Like he's obviously got a lot of time.
Obviously.
He pulls that lever and opens it up, and he's clawing through again the movie garbage. It's like this big...
Packing
like a-
peanuts.
Yeah, the packing peanuts and that big shiny thing. What was up with that? It
Everybody
was like 4 years worth of tinsel that someone threw away. It's like, well, this is just gathering dust, and we're not going to use this much tinsel ever.
what do we have tinsel for? We're Jewish.
Yeah,
Get this out of here.
he finds the box, but it only has like one pair of the shades left in it, right? Did that box look empty to you?
I don't
pulls
think
out-
they ever really show it.
Yeah, you can see far enough into the box where it looks like there's probably only one pair in there, but there was like 80 pair of sunglasses in that box last time we saw it. It was up to the brim.
Yeah, in the beginning it was overflowing. Like there was no more room for sunglasses in that box, and now there's just like a couple.
A couple pairs.
Well, here's the thing. When he finds the box of sunglasses finally, the back of the garbage truck is still open, And for some unknown reason, the guys in the cab of the garbage truck pull a lever, and they dump it all out in the alley and drive away.
Exactly! They do something that no one would ever do. Like, when you pull away after filling up with garbage, you would crush the garbage, right? You wouldn't dump
That's
it.
what we were waiting for.
I was waiting for Rowdy Roddy to be crushed into a cube.
Yeah, like the Shredder in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But there was no reason for that. There was no reason for them to orient their dumpster to a 90-degree angle up, even if the thing was closed. That makes zero sense.
And then, here's the best part, is he stands up, he's like, oh, fine, I have my sunglasses. Turns around, there's Keith David, and they show Keith David, then they show him, garbage is gone. Fucking no more garbage. The rest of the scene, and the rest of the scene is like 20 minutes.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
The garbage men caught on, stopped the truck, picked up all the trash, and were gone in a moment's notice.
I see.
These guys aren't slouching. Plus, it's not like the dirty garbage, so they had no beef against it.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't even need gloves to pick that stuff up.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but so here enters Keith David's unbelievability. Like, he won't put stock in anything Roddy says. So he comes
But he'll
up and
give him
says,
money.
yeah, he throws him a wad of bills. He says, here's a week's pay, even though you worked a day. Here's a week's pay. And he does, like, this was incredible. He throws it, and it lands in Roddy's box that he's holding.
Yeah.
That was an incredible shot. That was like
pretty
a
cool.
20-foot throw of a wad of bills, and it's just, plink, nothing but net. It was perfect. Here's the thing. Roddy says, put on these glasses. You'll see some crazy stuff. Now, he didn't even say you'll see crazy stuff. He just says, you need to put on these glasses. Keith says, man. No way. I'm not getting mixed up in sunglasses now.
I don't mess with that stuff anymore.
I don't do that anymore. I don't do sunglasses. I don't believe anything they say ever.
Aliens, don't do that no more.
No, But he doesn't even know yet. He's just trying to get him to wear the sunglasses. Cut to probably the most awesome fight in cinematic history, right?
I don't know. I got tired of it after the first 15 minutes. Here's some fun trivia for you. The fight that they do is, have you ever seen the South Park episode Cripple Fight?
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Like, that was basically move for move, except a lot shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Well, they shortened it down. They didn't have 45 minutes to do a fight scene on an episode of South Park.
Yeah, but those guys are going at it. Like, Rowdy wants to put these sunglasses on, so they'll go for 10, 20 minutes fighting. They'll get tired. He won't even, like, try and put the sunglasses on Keith. Like, he still has the good faith to be like, now will you try them?
You got some sunglasses?
So, no. Bam, bam. Another, like, cluster F of punches and kicks. And if Keith had the drive really not to put on those sunglasses, he had more than enough time to stomp on them, break them in any way.
He only tries that once. Just once.
But it's the slowest thing ever. It's like one of those classic movie things where he walks up and he sees the sunglasses. He's going to destroy him, so he lifts his leg up as high as physically possible.
Like E. Honda.
Yeah, and he's going to come down on him, but then Rowdy gives him another blow and they go. And
But Rowdy kicks him. Keith David knocks him to the ground, picks up the sunglasses, and tosses them at Rowdy. He lost interest in breaking those sunglasses the second he got kicked.
Yeah, he says, well, here, and he throws them on him. So then they pick up weapons, and at one point, Rowdy hits a car and breaks a windshield, which
and that's
really
the last straw.
Like, it pisses Keith off.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was his car.
No, it probably wasn't.
He's a hobo.
Yeah, like, they walk everywhere. Like, in the beginning of the movie, it's set up that they walk everywhere. So Keith is like, I can't believe you vandalized that car.
You may have killed a bunch of people, and I'm giving you money for that, but this car didn't deserve what you
We're
done.
law-abiding hobos.
Yeah, like, what the... So finally, at one of the many near pass-out moments when Keith is on the ground, he just crams the sunglasses on his face and rips him out into the middle of the street, like the most conspicuous thing you've ever seen. Like a giant white guy and a giant black guy. They're both bleeding from the face, and like they're in a big bear hug. And he says, look at all this crazy shit.
and then all of the aliens look over them and start talking into their watches.
Yeah, so then he says, we got to get out of here. They obviously saw our huge spectacle.
Well, they continue their bear hug and shuffle off to the side.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah, no, never did they give up their embrace. It's, arms around each other's neck, grabbing their shirt, and then they just shuffle off screen. But then the best part comes when they got to get that motel, and their face is now swollen up, like they just shoved a bunch of cotton in their mouth.
And then they walk up, it's like, we need a motel room. And the first thing I thought was, we're gay.
I know, right?
Like, how are you going to justify that?
Like
we
these two
rough
big
sex?
guys. These two big guys walk up, talk to that old guy, and say, "We need a room."
And they're all bloody.
Cut to, again,
fighting.
shirtless Roddy. Like, his body is not hurt. His face is totally screwed up from neck to navel, pristine.
Of course. Well, 2x4s can't hurt Roddy Piper.
It's because they only put makeup on when he was wearing a shirt.
No, yeah. And then there's that weird scene. This is where it takes a weird sort of dark, like dysfunctional family edge. Did you guys pick up on this when
When they start sharing secrets in the hotel room.
Yeah, like they're both cracking a few beers and it's time to talk about their horrible childhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rowdy's telling this story where his dad beat him for no reason.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I was a bad kid. He never said anything like that. He just says, well, my dad took me down to the river one day and beat the holy shit out of me. And from then on, he did it every day.
That's about the gist of my childhood.
Just beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, so they both had equally tragic backstories while they're getting loaded.
Well, and then at the end of all this, they're like, we need to find the guys who made these sunglasses. Cut to next scene. Hey, we found the guys who made these sunglasses.
They don't even find him. He finds them.
It's so weird. Like,
he's doing this weird, like, John thing where he's waiting by the side of a building for a prostitute to show up, and he's wearing the same sunglasses, so he sees Keith David, and he's like, Keith, man, what's going on?
see, got my sunglasses.
Bro, you too?
Awesome.
So cut to, we have the underground, which is fighting these things that we still don't know what they are.
They weren't even fighting. They were just
Hoboing.
kind of passively resisting.
Like, you go into that room, and it's all the hobos from the hobo camp.
Yeah, no one really has any big beef. Like, they're just hanging around. It's
Wearing
basically
their-
a social club for people who don't like aliens.
And now they have something better than sunglasses.
Yeah. He
Contacts.
says, don't wear those sunglasses too long. I feel like ice picks in your head. So they show up to the meeting and they're greeted with open arms, like warm hugs. And they
like,
say,
"Oh,
don't wear
it's
those
you."
sunglasses anymore.
Retards.
In the 3 days that you guys have been AWOL, we developed these contact lenses, and now they're mass produced.
Yeah, and they don't hurt your head anymore. Hooray.
No. And we needed to see, like, we couldn't just assume they put on the contact lenses. We see them scooping out and doing like the worst pantomime ever.
Like 5 minutes of this.
Yeah, it's like Keith, Dave, and Roddy are like scooping the thing and putting it in their eye. Like, we don't need to see any of that.
Behind them, Adam was greatly amused by the science chalkboard.
Oh yeah, they just had this chalkboard with random, like, science-y diagrams on it.
Yeah, it made no sense.
I'd explain it to you, but it's pretty technical.
Yeah, it was like the theory of relativity.
A picture of a brain.
Yeah, like the side of a brain where they cut the head in half,
The
and
Starship
there's just a bunch of
Enterprise.
equations, a smiley face. There's no reason for this.
And then they start the meeting, and the meeting goes like this. Hey, we need to get rid of these aliens. Yeah, let's kill them all. No, let's not kill them all.
Yeah,
That's the whole meeting. And then,
the end.
lo and behold, guess who shows up?
The aliens.
The SWAT
And,
team on foot.
First, our beautiful,
The big
our
jaw
beautiful
lady.
man-faced lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Roddy looks across the thing, and instead of being angry that he was dumped out of a window 400 feet to his death,
Left for Dead.
yeah, he walks up and he says, "Hey, look at me, look at you, we're here." And she's like, "I thought I killed you."
And he's like, yeah.
"I thought you did too." That was his retort.
And then, right after that, they're like, let's kill the aliens. Boom, aliens fucking everywhere.
Yeah, they just show up. They don't even like knock on the door. They burst through the wall with a battering ram.
Flares everywhere.
Yeah, and then they just start
More
chucking those
flares.
flares. Like the wall opens, the aliens need flares.
4th of July, flares, 7 flares for every man.
And I hope you didn't get to like your hobos, because now...
Well, yeah, this is where they have the...
but we forgot to mention that Keith and Rod get one of the watches at this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
The
They get
teleport
outfitted with a watch and a whole bunch of guns. Like, they just have
Assault rifles.
Uzis.
Yeah, there's just a table full of guns.
Well,
like
and
it
here's
was
the funny
Just a
part.
table of any gun you could want. Shotguns, Uzis, handguns. There's a rocket launcher, I think, on that table.
During the course of the meeting where it's like, we should do something about the aliens. Let's kill the aliens. We shouldn't kill the aliens. And it's the leader saying, we don't have to kill the aliens. Roddy and Keith step up, and they're both holding assault rifles.
Yeah.
The Keith actually had the smallest Uzi I've ever seen.
Yeah, he found like my first Uzi, the Fisher-Price Uzi. It barely fit in his hand. And so when the aliens come in, they're shooting them up, and here's what the director said.
Flared.
The director said to everyone who gets shot, he says, you know what it's like to get shot? They say no. He says, imagine you're getting hit with 100,000 volts of electricity, and that's it. Go.
Just go for it.
Yeah, everyone is flailing like fish out of water, and everyone practically dies except for Rowdy, Keith,
And the lady.
and the Jaw.
The Jaws.
Let's just call her the
Jaws.
Jaw, because I don't know her name.
And Jaws.
Well,
yeah,
and
Jaws, the woman.
My favorite part about this whole scene with them running from the cops is Rowdy shooting his gun, never aims
Yeah, he
at
just goes,
all.
yeah!
He's
Yeah.
always waving his gun in erratic
He's-
patterns.
He's drawing his name in cursive in the air. And so they're hiding. That's when they get away. And then this crazy thing happens. They're hiding from the aliens down a alleyway that has no outlet.
Nope.
So they're hiding behind garbage cans, waiting for the SWAT team to move in. And something happens to the watch where Keith is like, fuck this, and he throws it behind him.
Well, they're
which
trying to
opens
mess
up-
with it.
What?
They're trying to mess with it to get it to work.
Oh,
and then
right.
they throw it on the ground.
Yeah, Keith
And
is
it
like, fuck
opens
this
a-
shit, and he throws it.
A portable hole from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, an Acme hole from Who Framed Roger Rabbit pops up with a pleasant female voice
Yeah, it was a nice
giving instructions.
Like, please come into the hole. And
Yeah, she's
notice, like, here's the thing. They were hiding behind, like, pallets and one garbage bag. You
Yeah.
could completely see them. And the guys in the alleyway were looking around confused until the watch flashed.
Yeah, there's only it's a narrow alleyway that dead ends, and these dudes are looking up, they're looking around, they're looking down at their feet.
Looking
They're
at
going
each
out
other
of
like,
their
"You-
way not to see these people.
Are you Rowdy Roddy Piper? No, that's not me.
Yeah, they're asking each other like, "Are you that black guy?"
No, I'm not that black guy.
Just so you know, like, this movie is taking forever, and even though they have 10 seconds to jump into this hole, they milk it for all that it's worth.
Yeah. He has
The-
to go out and spray that thing like a fire hose again.
Yeah, the lady is counting down. She's like, 10. 9. And they milk it forever.
And then they finally get into this hole, and apparently alien bases look like warehouses.
Well,
Yeah.
It's just a maintenance tunnel.
Yeah, they basically jumped into backstage at any major stadium. They're just hanging out, and they're walking around. Nobody's there. They're just in this long hallway. And here's where we finally get to, like, eventually see they're kind of aliens. Where they look at the sign, and Keith looks at it, and he's like, what does that fucking say? And Rowdy's like, I don't know. It ain't English. Yeah, you better believe it ain't English.
Well, and here's my favorite part. They walk down this hall for, another 15 minutes without talking. Just looking around. They
Yeah,
get to a
quietly.
ballroom filled with people in nice suits.
Yeah, they stumble into an award ceremony.
Their faces have been all over the television.
Everywhere.
And
These are the
nobody-
two... Yeah, whatever this town is, they are the two most infamous people in said town.
Nobody notices them. And then, like, the award ceremony is basically, you are all the humans that have teamed up with the aliens. This is a nice ball for you. Enjoy.
Yeah, it's like, now we're all rich, and you are too. Whee! But before that, before they get to the ballroom, did you notice that when they had to skirt those two guards, that they were talking into the ghost detector from Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Adam pointed out
the
they-
EKG meter.
Instead of having walkie-talkies,
PKE
they're
meters,
talking into EKG meters.
PKE meters.
PKE, whatever.
Watch your Ghostbusters.
Well, the moral is they're talking into something that's supposed to find ghosts.
But
then-
find people.
Maybe the Ghostbusters were using it wrong.
But then,
He's pointing at us.
as they're walking through the ball, everyone's dressed like these guys are like ripped up shirt, and they've been through a gun battle.
And nobody cares.
No one cares. The hobo from the beginning who loves
like,
his TV.
My head hurts now.
Yeah, he cut off part of his beard. Now he's got a stylish goatee. He was clean then, but he's even cleaner now.
Yeah, and he's got a tuxedo.
Yeah,
Not
he's
just
got a
a suit.
tuxedo. And he just immediately, like, he's the dumb guy. He's the dumb guy that every movie needs to, like, spell out the plot for every idiot in the audience who still has no idea what's going on, right?
Like, these are aliens.
You can't really blame us for not knowing what's going on. They haven't told us.
Yeah, well, this guy was actually a godsend because he shows up and he's like, "Hey, boys, glad you're on board. Let me tell you about the movie that you're watching and all of the plot."
So basically, he tells us that these aliens are here for business reasons?
Yeah, they're
here to take over the planet.
Well, not just take over it. They're here to
make money by
that
doing
wasn't
stuff?
even really made clear.
Like they're a business, they're a corporation, and they want to incorporate us?
No, they said that they were like changing the atmosphere and stuff slowly too.
Well, but that's not what the paranoid guy said before he got shot.
Well, they wouldn't tell the people that.
They're being blamed for a million different things that I don't even think they're doing. They're just pretty much showing up, wearing suits
and getting jobs. They all look like businessmen.
Yeah, they're all like super rich and very important.
It doesn't look like they're doing anything weird except for making all of our billboards say obey and reproduce.
It's not like they had an army or anything.
Yeah, they weren't hostile.
Everywhere.
They just wanted to, our money for some reason.
Yeah, the dollar to the Gortsplat is very
yeah, the dollar is a universal currency. But, then the dumb hobo gives them the grand tour. It's like, here's where we do this. Here's where they come from other planets. This is this, and this is how that works. And basically spells out the whole movie, which really...
They should have been explaining this to us the whole time.
Yeah, this should have been from the word go. It's like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. But no, we need exposition hobo.
Well, the only thing he doesn't tell us is the main characters' names.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just says, hey, guys.
What up? And then he's like, okay, and here's the cable news network where we beam our signal into everybody's brains.
Yes.
Satellite dishes on the roof.
Somehow they've gotten out of the tunnels and into the top floor of this news building.
Yeah, he says, now this is brilliant. Like, these aliens have obviously got their shit together, save for they have no failsafe. They have one dish, and that's it.
And they told everybody about it. Apparently, that hobo was like, yeah, satellite dishes on the roof.
You seem like a trustworthy hobo.
Yeah, as soon as you're inducted into the group, you get a big binder that has all of their plans, like where all their shit is.
Map of this facility.
Little pamphlet.
Yeah,
Welcome to the invasion.
It's like, take it or leave it, aliens and you. It's like, they're not really malignant. There's no real evil. It's just like,
they're just trying to sell chips.
Yeah,
it's like as soon as you find out about them, they want you to be part of the deal.
Yeah, they don't, like, as soon as you find out, they don't want to kill you. They don't want any harm to come to you. They just say, hey, now that you know, you can be rich too. And Rowdy's like, I don't think so.
Flails his gun around some
We never
more.
explained why it's hipster vision. It's because everything says obey and conform.
Yeah.
So when you put on the sunglasses, you see everything as a hipster does. All the businessmen are dead inside.
Like, this sucks.
It's all the magazines and cans and bottles.
So their plan now is to get into the studio, right? Like, that was their plan?
Well, no, they get into the studio, blow the shit out of the news anchors. They don't actually blow them.
No, they shoot a lot of guards.
Yeah.
Some they actually shoot twice because they reuse footage.
Yeah, they reuse a lot of footage. They kill all the news anchors, then they start making their way to the roof. And all it is them running up the stairs. Eventually, they pass through a room filled with all these people and they're like, sorry, folks, pardon us, excuse us, and everybody's kind of like cowering a little bit. And then the guards run through and everybody starts shrieking.
Well, then they find Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, in a hallway, they find Jaws. And
She's
like, how do we
down
get to the roof? And then... So you have zero emotionally invested in this movie so far, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 feet from the roof.
From Ruth.
4 feet from Ruth. 4 feet from the roof. Roddy's running up the stairs, and what does Keith say? He's like, we're almost there, and Jaws is like, I don't think so, stupid, and blows him away.
Yeah, she just blows him away.
Out of nowhere. There was no reason for it.
Then they get to the roof.
It's insinuated that now she's working with the aliens.
Yeah,
I guess.
we don't know that. I just thought she was crazy.
But we get to the roof, and Roddy looks at the satellite dish, puts on his sunglasses, and it looks like a laser cannon.
Well, he has the contacts on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, instead of seeing a satellite dish, it's a huge, death beam.
Kinda.
And all it's doing is making everybody see them as humans instead of ghouls.
Well, and it's hiding all the subliminal messages and everything.
Yeah, it's basically just colorizing the world.
But they only have one.
See it in black
Apparently.
and white.
One for the entire
dish.
world.
Yeah, I'm saying no fail-safe. They say, okay, all our eggs, one basket.
Well, she comes up top, and she's like, what are you doing? You can make a lot of money, and you could be with me. And Roddy goes, pow.
No, yeah. He says, the police show up, and there's the chopper, and drop your gun. And she's like, come on, be rich. It's awesome. You get whatever the hell you want. We're rich.
I'll massage your dick with my man jaw.
Yeah, with her giant jaw. So he drops his gun, but then he pulls out the second one.
Like a derringer.
Yeah, he pulls it out of his sleeve. And he's like, kapow!
And then he turns around. 2 shots will destroy this satellite dish.
Well, not only that, but the police were very lenient.
Yeah,
he was 3 feet away from this thing, and he's turning around as slow as possible, holding the gun he just killed the lady with, and they say, you've got till the count of 10 to step away. And they count from 10, and he shoots it before they get to 8.
Yeah.
He
shoots it twice.
Yeah, boom, boom, kablam, and he must have ruptured the nuclear core, because that thing goes off like a firecracker.
Yeah. And then, of course, our hero dies. We don't care about it because we don't know his name.
No one cares at this point, and nothing is to be gained, so he gets shot a whole bunch, but he gets the last laugh. Did you guys see that when they pan to him? He's like dying, but then he's like, and his hand comes into frame, and he's like flipping some birdage. Yeah, he flips.
F you, aliens.
He gets the last laugh. He's like flipping him some birdage, big time. Cut to the best scene of the movie. It's
everybody
a chick.
Going, whoa.
It's a chick from torso up, totally nude.
The only nude woman in an entire bad horror movie, by the way.
Which is usually a requirement for bad horror movies.
Right? That should have showed up way earlier. But she's having the slowest sex ever, right?
She's like,
when we see her, she is moving so slowly, like...
Rocking chair sex?
Yeah, like it's so slow. And so she's like, oh yeah, this is hot. And she looks at the TV, and there are ghouls on the TV. She's like, ew. And she looks down, and she's fucking a ghoul.
And then he's like, hey, baby, what's wrong? And he's got a Jerry curl.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the end of movie.
No resolution. There was barely any plot, and that didn't even get resolved. So, cut to, it was like John Carpenter says, okay, we have no ending. And somebody's like, wouldn't it be funny if, these two people were fucking and then one of them was a ghoul? And he's like, perfect!
Got it.
Use it.
We're done.
That is, it's in like Flint, guys. Whew!
And that is They Live.
Yeah. Well, and then in the credits it actually says that They Live is based off of a short story called, it's around 8 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah. And I kind of want to read that story because it can't be as bad as the movie.
There's no way it could. And it's short, so even if it is as bad, it's not going to last as long.
It only sucks for a limited amount of time.
I hate story.
But, oh, man. So, yeah, that was, whew.
I give it a big ghoulish thumbs down.
A ghoulish thumb?
See, that's the thing. We haven't worked out, a rating system. What...
I give it 4 Rowdy Roddies, which is equal to -2.
I say we should do it in dying stars. This is the Reviewniverse.
Oh.
So out of 5 dying stars, 5 being the worst and 1 being probably the best, this one was a solid 3.5 dying stars.
I'll give it 3 dying stars because at least I could it wasn't so bad that I couldn't entertain myself by talking over it.
Yeah. I was going to go with 3 myself for that same reason.
Yeah, I threw in the extra half simply because of the soundtrack.
Ding.
3.5 dying planets
ding.
Simply because of the ding. Boom.
Ding, 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 ding. The guy with the triangle in the background.
That added nothing. So, while you're watching this movie, you're probably thinking to yourself, you get a little peckish. So, we like to think, what snacks would go with this crap? So, yeah, what would... I kind of lost my appetite, but... Since there were... Okay, here's the perfect snack. You got Rowdy Roddy, you got Keith David, peanut butter M&Ms. The chocolate is Keith and the peanut butter is Rowdy.
That's racist. My snack is before I go watch the movie, I'm going to put on my Ray-Bans. I'm going to walk down to the store and I'm going to follow around a guy until I'm going to follow around everybody until one of them buys chips. I'm going to get the exact same kind of chips he has and slap a sticker that says "Obey" on it, and then I'm going to get those.
Wait, so
what I want you to do is stalk a guy until he buys chips, David, and then make them Obey brand chips.
Stalk a person and buy whatever he does.
No, what you should do is, when he throws his chips up onto the counter, you say, "Hey, try on these sunglasses." And as he's putting them on, switch the chips. And when he looks and he pulls them off, switch them again.
But then I wouldn't get the Obey brand chips. I'd get whatever Doritos he was buying.
Well, no, it's a practical joke, Andy. Shut up. Adam, what would be the best snack to eat for this crap?
I was going to make a peanut butter and banana open-faced sandwich.
Really?
Because if you arrange the bananas right, it'll look like the aliens from the movie.
Oh, right. So you're going more of a...
Maybe some raisins for the smile.
Oh, we skipped a part. First show, we're already off format.
God.
Uh-oh.
We forgot, what was our favorite part? Like, Andy, let's start with you. What was your... This movie was... from soup to nuts, it was crap. But every movie has something that you can take away from it. So what was your favorite part?
Probably my favorite part of the whole movie was that crazy fingernail commercial. I couldn't stop laughing at it. That lady was seriously spearing not just like little slices of American cheese, but like cheese cubes with her fingers. Like,
we're supposed to believe that secretaries in the 80s had like a cheese platter on hand. Like,
well, that's all she could eat with her gigantic fingernails.
She was
Sandwiches just disintegrate.
She was typing so slow.
Yeah, she was the slowest typer in the world, but to make her go faster, they bribed her with cheese?
Absolutely.
Adam, what was your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part was when they're getting away from the SWAT team towards the end and he's flailing his gun around.
No, just that bullet hose that never ran out.
Ah, and the bullets are hitting all the walls and going up into the air and not hitting any of the cops.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I think the part of the movie that made it for me, like, I was on the fence until they saw the highest black guy in the world. I could have taken it or leave it. Like the deadpan reaction to the bulldozer coming through the shanty town. I was kind of take it or leave it. As soon as that guy, as soon as they bust into that door, and they see the scared family, and the high black dude's like, "Can you believe this?" And he lets out a big puff of smoke. I was like, yes, this is why I... Oh, no. I take it back.
Oh,
My favorite part was when the old dude and the blind preacher are in the alley.
Yeah, and they're just getting beat up by the cops.
Well, here's the thing. The old dude gets his... The old white dude gets his ass kicked immediately. That blind preacher is keeping 4 SWAT dudes at bay with a cane.
Yeah.
Like they got their shields and like, whoa, like they don't know what, like maybe they should rush in, but they don't want to get hit by the cane. Oh,
I don't want my shield to get scuffed.
Yeah, that was my favorite part by far. Like, the white guy went down, but the blind black preacher took on 4 SWAT team members.
4 SWAT team members.
So now, obviously, since you don't need to see this movie, what should you see instead? I think if you're going for an alien movie, I'm going to stick with John Carpenter. Totally opposite. See The Thing.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
But The Thing is you.
Well, The Thing... Shut up.
Oh.
The Thing is an alien movie, but it's executed well, whereas They Live sucks.
The Thing was an excellent movie. Still one of my favorites.
And it's incredible to think that the guy who made The Thing also made this movie.
Yeah, what happened to him between those two movies?
Drugs. He just thought, okay, best practical special effects in cinematic history, right? For my next movie, blue gloves, get this, guys, blue gloves, and really cheesy, crappy-looking masks, and that's it.
And for my next trick...
What would you see instead, Andy?
If we're keeping with an alien theme, I'm gonna go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Same sort of...
Yeah, that works.
Same sort of ish plot, where a man discovers that nothing is quite what it seems, and then some guy goes... and points.
Things are never what they seem. I don't think I would wake up and everything would not be as it seemed. I don't think I'd be surprised at this point. Like,
really?
Nothing is ever as it seems.
You see Ben and he's sitting there and he's a ghoul.
I'm like, oh well.
That explains it.
So, are you going along with me with the Thing, Adam?
Yeah, that's what I was going to recommend anyways. Restore some faith in John Carpenter. Not all the things he does are bad.
Yeah, but... Oof. He might show up again on this show because I bought a 4-pack and a solid 3 out of the 4 worthy of this show, right?
Right.
Great.
Yikes. So, yep. That was the movie, kids. Now you don't have to see it and you can impress your friends by talking about it at lame parties.
Lame parties.
But, hey, if you have something that you want us to review, if there's a movie out there dying to be ripped apart by us... And it doesn't have to be new. It can be old, and it can be any genre. Write us an email at thereviewniverse@gmail.com. That's the Reviewniverse, all one word. And if you could spell Reviewniverse on this first try, congratulations, because
you deserve to be writing
the website. I tried to get some tech support. He says, "What's the website you're looking for?" I said, "The Reviewniverse." Yeah. And then I tried to spell it. I was like, ThereViewverse. And he's like, okay, so TBS, what? So,
W?
Yeah. So check out, just go to thereviewniverse.com, give us your suggestions of movies, and we will break them down so other people don't have to suffer the injustice that we do. We don't have a Facebook set up, and we might not, seeing as how this might not be a very popular show. But if you like us, guys, we might.
Go on.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends if you like bad movies, but you don't want to watch them. You just want to hear about them. This is the show for you.
Or if you want to hear about them and then watch them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we did a pretty good job. There's no reason to see this movie now.
None at all.
We did it. We did it. Tit it.
We did it. Tit it.
You can't say we do it to it because we did it already. So we, we did it. Tit it.
I'm gonna reach for the computer and slap you.
But until next week, keep your eyes on the stars or something.
Some crap.
Good job, guys.
Fistful of Podcasts production.